Lewis, aka Spider-Man 1991 here, and it is the 5th video for my Avengers Infinity War video countdown series. There's only 2 days left until the official release of Avengers Infinity War, and I am so excited. So for this video, I'm going to be filling out a bracket I made of the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Now, in case you're wondering how I paired the bracket, I basically took the scores of the movies from Metacritic, IMDb, and the average critic and audience scores from Rotten Tomatoes, and I put them in an Excel spreadsheet, averaged them all out, and ranked them from highest to lowest, paired them off from their respective ranks in order to fill out the bracket. Now, I do have 2 slots here that are sort of sudden death matches because these are the bottom 4 from the list, and I did that so that I could even out the bracket a bit better. I will also post a link to this bracket so you can fill this out for yourself in order to do it. So, without further ado, let's fill this bracket out. So here's the bracket right now. We're gonna start filling it off. We're gonna go to the first corner, and let's just take care of these sudden death matches. Okay, so we have Thor: The Dark World versus the Incredible Hulk. This should be easy. I'm gonna go with Thor: The Dark World because while it wasn't that great, it was actually the first movie to reference the Infinity Stones by name. It basically, in its first post-credit scene, it referenced the Ether and the Tesseract as Infinity Stones. That was the first time we heard that phrase, so that's why I give it 1 tier above Incredible Hulk. Now for the other sudden death match, Thor vs. Iron Man 2. I'm gonna go with Thor. Thor because it was surprisingly good. They figured out a way to make Thor the least relatable Marvel character relatable. Also, Natalie Portman's in it. And Iron Man 2, it could have been a good Iron Man sequel, but they used most of it to help lay the groundwork for the rest of the MCU. While it did help establish the other parts of the MCU, it did not really help Iron Man that much. Okay, so this will be a little bit easier now that the bracket's all evened out. Let's see here. Black Panther versus Thor: The Dark World. I'm gonna go with Black Panther. It was an impressive movie. It introduced us to Wakanda. It had a very cool villain with Michael B. Jordan. Also, in addition to Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, it also had Shuri. And I loved Shuri. She was amazing. Okay, next up, Spider-Man: Homecoming versus Doctor Strange. Oh man, this is hard. I really love these movies a lot. They both have very fantastic actors. I'm gonna go with Spider-Man because I am a Spider-Man fan. I'm always going to pick Spidey. He is my favorite Marvel character, so I'm always going to pick him, so sorry, Doc. Okay, Thor: Ragnarok versus Age of Ultron. Thor: Ragnarok was a lot of fun. It was definitely funny, a new direction for Thor. But Age of Ultron, it expanded the Avengers roster. It had very cool moments of looking at the team. It did sort of set up some fractures that we saw in Civil War, but it also kind of like showed the Avengers working together and being an effective team. Plus, it had introduced 2 of my favorite Avengers, Scarlet Witch and Vision. I'm going with Age of Ultron. Next up, Iron Man versus Captain America. In case you're wondering, I just kind of shortened this. This is actually the first Captain America movie versus Iron Man. I'm going with Iron Man because while I did like First Avenger, Iron Man is just classic. I mean, this is where we got the pretty much new formula for for the modern superhero, and it was also the reason why everyone stays until the full end credits whenever they see a Marvel movie. All right, now for the next column here: Guardians of the Galaxy versus Thor. Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, I'm going with Guardians because it was fun. It was something that Marvel had up to this point made traditional superhero movies, but Guardians was something different. It was something new, and it was just a really fun ride. Okay, Winter Soldier vs. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Alright, I already picked Guardians Volume 1, plus Volume 2 was kind of the same thing that I have about Age of Ultron versus Avengers, is that it just basically it was basically a sequel that kind of stayed where the original was, but Winter Soldier was just a very well-written movie. It was almost flawless. It also gives the big revelation that Hydra was growing within S.H.I.E.L.D., and that affected Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which made that show better, so I gotta go with Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier. Okay, Civil War versus Ant-Man. Ant-Man was very fun. It was a great heist movie, but Civil War was very cool. It was basically everything that... It was basically a big payoff to people who've been watching these movies since Iron Man 1. And throughout, up to this point, we had seen the Avengers come together, become this awesome superhero team, and then suddenly with this movie, it's all over. So I'm going with Civil War. Alright, now for the last one, we've got Avengers vs. Iron Man 3. Avengers, it's obvious, okay, because Avengers was basically the first time we saw superheroes team up, and it was also written and directed by Joss Whedon, which was great. Iron Man 3, it definitely, for me, Iron Man 3, the thing that killed it was the whole Mandarin thing. Alright, there was 18, now we've got 8. So let's move on to Black Panther vs. Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay, here's the thing though. Neither movie really affected the overall MCU narrative. Black Panther had a very stellar cast. So did Spider-Man Homecoming. Ultimately, I think right here at this moment, it just kind of like boils down to which character I love more, and I'm going with Spider-Man. Okay? I think always, whenever you ask me which Marvel character I'm going to pick, it will be Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay, you know what, I'm not going to write it down, I'm just going to say Spider-Man for shorthand. Okay, Age of Ultron versus Iron Man. Alright, okay, Age of Ultron versus Iron Man. Oh, man. I love Age of Ultron, I really do. And it had a lot of cool movies, but Iron Man was where the entire MCU kicked off. If this movie wasn't successful, we wouldn't have had all of this. So I'm going with Iron Man. Okay. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy vs. Winter Soldier. Okay, see, the more you fill out these brackets, the harder it is to make a decision. Guardians of the Galaxy vs. Winter Soldier. Oh, man. Do I go with... Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy is fun. It is... Both of these movies are my top 5 MCU movies, but, man, okay, Guardians was fun. It had a killer soundtrack. Winter Soldier was just a perfect movie. Like, I feel like with Winter Soldier, I can just show it to anyone and they'd automatically love it. Guardians of the Galaxy, I feel like, yeah, some people will love it, but it would be very hard to convince someone to watch a movie about a talking raccoon and a giant tree. So, I'm going with Winter Soldier. Civil War versus Avengers. Oh, man. Again, this is hard. This is where they came together. This is where they broke apart. Man, oh man, it's kind of like, you know, which do you like better, the old director Joss Whedon or the new guys, the Russo brothers? Man, okay, I feel like I'm picking Avengers for this just because if we never had Avengers, we wouldn't have had Civil War. Alright, now we're in the final 4. We've got Spider-Man Homecoming, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Avengers. Okay, so Spider-Man Homecoming versus Iron Man. Okay, sorry Spidey, but I'm going with Iron Man. Because I get it. I know I've been saying for this entire column, Spider-Man dominated because he's my favorite character, but I think going up against Iron Man, because Spider-Man Homecoming, it also had Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and for me, and it reminded me how cool he is as Iron Man, and we wouldn't have had that without this movie, so that's my logic for picking that. Okay. Winter Soldier versus Avengers. So hard. Both of these movies really affected the narrative. This was when the heroes came together, this was when S.H.I.E.L.D. was dismantled. I guess it really comes down to like how many times I can, in terms of like rewatchability, I can watch them both. Man, this is very difficult. I think I'm gonna go with man, this is very... I didn't think this would be this hard. Man, Winter Soldier, Avengers. Avengers is, you get everyone. You get Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Nick Fury. With Winter Soldier, you just get Cap, Black Widow, Falcon, Nick Fury. But Cap's suit was way better in Winter Soldier. Man, I'm okay. You know what? I'm just gonna say Winter Soldier because, again, I love Avengers, but Winter Soldier was just a very superior film in terms of like which one I liked better. Okay, now it's time for the final two: Iron Man versus Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Oh, jeez, I just created my own Civil War in my bracket. I got an Iron Man movie versus Captain. I got like maybe the best Iron Man movie versus the best Captain America movie. Iron Man. It had laughs. It was very entertaining. But Winter Soldier, you know what? Okay, I can debate this all I want, but I think at the end of the day, the movie that I would most likely watch is Winter Soldier. So I'm picking Winter Soldier. Well, there we have it. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It won my bracket for best MCU movie. But I'm not going to say like what could have beaten it because tomorrow I'm actually going to be releasing my list of top 10 MCU films. So you guys will probably find out where this movie that won my bracket is going to be on my top 10 list and what movies outrank it. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Remember, stay subscribed and notified. Also, if you want to fill out your own bracket and let me know what you decided, I will post a link to my Google Drive where you can download the PDF, print out, write on it to figure out what choice wins, and let me know in the comments below what was the winner of your bracket. Thank you again for watching. Remember to stay subscribed, notified, follow me on Twitter for when I post a new video. I'm Lewis, aka Spider-Man 1991, saying see you later.